The Obama administration gave a boost to small business last week by announcing the government will loosen credit to small companies, and that'll include increasing the government guarantee on Small Business Administration loans to 90%. Here with more on the news and survival strategies for small companies is Jim Malski. Jim is the president of Action Coach, a next level firm based in Westport. Good to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to be back, Becky.
All right. First of all, you deal with small companies all the time. Your reaction to the news out of Washington with the guarantee on the small business loans?
Well, it's great news. Anytime that we can support small business, that's fantastic. But one of the things that we're seeing out in the marketplace is, from business owners, is an abdication of their own responsibility.
Are they just giving up?
Well, leaning on, oh, that's fantastic, the government's going to help us out now, as opposed to looking inward at themselves and how they're running their business and saying, hey, what do I need to do? What can I control to make my business more successful?
I think so many small company owners, they look at this as this is the perfect storm. And they, as you say, abdicate responsibility as if there's just no way, no matter what I do, no matter what formula I put in place, I'm going to be able to override these challenges.
Right. I mean, it's the easy way out, right? For a business owner to say, oh, the economy's bad, everyone's doing bad, so I guess I have to do bad as well. Bad thinking. What we need to do is focus on the things that we know work, that we can control, and focus on those things to improve our own profitability, improve our revenue, so that when these sort of programs come out from the federal government, you've got a sound financial footing on which to take advantage of them. I mean, it's not a great idea for a business that's got negative cash flow or losses on their profit and loss statement to go out and borrow money.
More money, get yourself deeper into the hole.
Yeah,
Let's talk about some of the survival strategies you talk about. First, reinvent your sales process to close more leads.
Right, right. What we want to talk about today is low investment strategies to increase revenue and profitability. And one thing that's typically overlooked is the sales process in to develop business. Right? Most business owners, what you want to do is make sure you've got a process, Becky, right? From the point where you identify a prospect to the point where you're closing the sale, what is your process that you're going to take that prospect through?
I guess many people say I pitch the idea, I get the reaction, a little push and shove goes back and forth, we sign the deal, it's all over.
Right. But what if you don't sign the deal? What if there's only a push and there's not a shove back? What if, for an example, they call in, a prospect calls into your business and is interested in buying your product and service, and 9 out of 10 of those calls, the prospect, you never talk to the prospect again. If you've got a process that you can track, you can look at it and say to yourself, wow, we got all these initial leads, but we lost 9 of them in the first phone call. If that's your process, then you can go back and say to the receptionist or whoever's answering the phone, okay, what are you saying?
In that first 3 minutes, what happens?
Yeah, what do we need to change so now we get 10 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 to go to the next step? Now you've in fact doubled your chances, right, of closing that sale. And what did that cost? It didn't cost anything. It's just a matter of focusing on that process.
All right, you also say attack your database of past prospects and customers. In other words, these are people that have said either they said yes for a while and then they went away, or they said no from the get-go.
Absolutely, said no from the get-go. And we find a lot of business owners don't keep those prospects that say no in their database, which I think is a huge mistake, because if they wanted to buy, maybe they didn't close the sale with somebody else. So there's a follow-up opportunity there to make the sale, even if it's 3 or 4 months later. But that database is gold. The other thing that you can use the database for is how many of your clients know your full range of services. Right? Let's say you're an IT services firm and you host someone's network or their server. Do they know that you do network analysis? Do they know that you do backups? Do they know all those other services? If they don't, you're leaving money on the table. So that's a way to go back at your database with very low cost.
And one of the points that you mentioned, which is we hear all the time, it's so important in business, and that is for a small business person to network.
Networking.
Now, when you mean, explain networking, how it applies to the small business, not to the individual looking for a job.
Right. Networking from a business owner standpoint. First of all, it's usually very inexpensive. But the first thing that you need to do before you want to go out and network is to find those events, those associations where your target market is going to be. Because if you look around Fairfield County, there are more networking events that you could possibly get to every single night of the week, right? So just to say go out and network
It could be a waste of time.
Could be a colossal waste of time. So the first thing you need to do is, who's your perfect customer? Who's your target? And then start to talk to your own customers again about where they're networking. Where are they going? What associations are they belonging to? And that's where you want to be and focus your time.
And now, are we talking about the sailing club, the golf club, or are we talking about the Chamber of Commerce?
It's wherever your clients.
Lions Club?
It's wherever your clients are spending their time. It can be anywhere, because it always starts with a relationship, right? And when you go to networking events, the last thing you want to do is be walking around selling. What you want to be doing is meeting people and figuring out how you can help them.
Well,
That's where you start a relationship.
You always have
right?
great ideas. You're going to share some of those great ideas with the students at the Dolan School of Business at Fairfield University, April 16th.
Yeah, that's coming up on April 16th, and we're looking forward to that, to get the college students focusing on entrepreneurship and how to grow and build business. It's going to be a lot of fun. Innovation
in small business in this country. That's
absolutely
great ideas
for
kids. Okay, Jim, good to have you on the program.
Yes, great to be here again.
And we'll be back with more 12 on the Money after the break.